So good morning, guys.
Good morning.
We are back with another day of Anastasia or Iamanagraves and Tiny Texie makeup. And before YouTube tries to beat me up, I have shorts on. I promise. Don't beat me up, YouTube. Okay. Clean my brush off. I think this is one of the days I'll have Texie not have to start with a wipe. We have some very good eyebrow base right here, so we're just gonna go ahead and fix these eyebrows up for the day.
Yeah, I couldn't take them off. I love them so much.
When I am editing a brow, or I use the same brow, I just like to go in, just like every day, clean up the edges, things like that. Are you done? Okay. Let this dry for a couple of minutes. And then now I'm kind of going to look at my palette while my face dries and decide what eyeshadow I want to use for the day. I'm going to dip into this color called Zoned. You like that? As I'm applying this eyeshadow already, I can see that something was wet right there. So I'm immediately going to take this off. And I'll probably start with the other eye, let this eye dry a little bit more. I knew it wasn't quite the color. Color looks good. Okay. I'm not going to immediately go in with this eye because I know it's still going to be a little bit wet. So I have zoned on this eye and I'm mapping out like a really good transition shade. At this point, I like to take my pointy brush, which I talk about so much, make sure she's clean. I'm going to go in with that neutral shade, as I tell us all the time. For Texie, it's kind of like her skin color. For us, it's like a white. So I'm going to put that on top of her lid right here. I always use this for Texie as a nice lid opener. I always place this usually right in the middle of Texie's lid because it opens her eye up a little bit larger. It makes it more bright looking. I'm gonna make sure my flat brush is clean because I'm gonna go in with a flat brush. I'm gonna go back into the same color called Zoned. I have like a good, decent transition shade. I like how the fade and the blend is going on. Make sure I like the blend. Then I'm gonna get a darker color to use for the transition shade, which is probably gonna be this one, Majestic, but I like to use this brush for the zoned right here. So I'm gonna go back on this side and go in with the zoned before I switch colors. One eye that doesn't like to cooperate, guys. We can can add this to the Anastasia Upset compilation. Because when I have something that's not working, I will take off the entire thing and redo it. So for now, while this dries, I'm going to pick up with this other eye, guys. But when I'm blending it, all of this is not blending. There's literally wet stuff right here. And no matter what I do to blend it, it just keeps getting darker. So I'm gonna take a wipe again, and we're gonna really wipe it off this time and hope that it works, because if not, we're just not gonna have eyeshadow today, and we're just gonna have a nice base, because I can't waste lots of time doing the same look over and over again, or I can wipe the other eye off and do a whole nother eyeshadow look, which is fine, but in all actuality, did that hurt?
No, this is cold.
That's like, did that hurt?
It was cold.
But I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time trying to perfect the same eye look. And it's not the eye, it's not the shadow, it's something that is sitting on the skin right here is just not allowing it to blend properly. So I just need to make sure that it's cleaned off all the way and done properly and dried properly. I'm really hoping I wiped it off well this time. Anastasia doesn't like wasting makeup, if you can't tell. Okay guys, while that dries, I'm probably gonna try to go in and work on this side. This side's always the good eye guy. It just does whatever I need it to do. It's always like, ta-da! And this eye is like the demon eye, and it's the bad eye, and like doesn't want me to put makeup on it or do stuff to it. It's got it out for me, I promise. It's always that. It's always your left eye, and I'm like, dude.
That was my left side in general. Even I have trouble with my left side.
I know. I think whatever I got up there, whatever was up there, is finally gone. Because every time I would blend a color, it was just destroying it. It was literally darker in one area, lighter in the other. It was because something was under it. And I'm like, dude, I can't do this. I just can't do this.
Well, now I know guys what makeup artists struggle with.
What Anastasia gets so angry about. Like, y'all can zoom in on my face and see it. I was literally like,
About to throw a makeup brush. She don't play good.
Because if I, like, for example, if I do a wing like 4 or 5 times because I want it to be perfect, it's different. But because, like, that wasn't blending the way I wanted it to blend, I'm like, it's not me. Like, there's something on the skin. It's not me.
Not that, you gotta think about it, you know. That's if you're painting a picture. People are gonna see it.
Go in. I know I completed this eye entirely with my same 2 brushes, but I don't know if it's the angle I'm sitting or something. This one's not blending in the way I want it to blend in, so I'm going to try to go in with another brush and see if that's going to help me fade it in the way that I want to. No, it's actually just taking the product off, which is not what I wanted at all. So I'll try one more brush. That's also removing the product. So with this one, I will speak from experience. This is the color called Majestic. I don't know if I said what it was called earlier, but Don't know if it's just me having this experience or not. I used this color on myself yesterday, and I myself wiped my eyeshadow off 2 times because one side was blending different than the other side. So I'm not sure if I've used the same brush to blend it. So I don't understand why it's blending so differently. It doesn't make any sense. The same thing happened to me yesterday, and I almost took off my entire eyeshadow. See, when I apply this, it's literally removing the product. Yeah, I'm not really too sure what to do about it because it's messing up the entire eyeshadow. I'm getting fallout on her face. It's going above her eyebrow now. So a bad shadow can really mess things up, guys, and that's kind of what I'm worried about right now, because eyebrows and eyeshadow are like the base and what maps out the rest of your look. So it's hurting me right now that this doesn't want to blend properly. So I'm going to try to let this dry, what I've just altered, and then I'm going to try to go back in and fix it with another brush, because that's honestly my best bet right now versus wiping it all. Open your eye. Versus wiping it all off and trying to start over again. So this eye is great, looks great.
It always does. That always does.
I'm only doing this and suffering through this because I want YouTube to see this, unfortunately. If you can, zoom in on this eye. Do you see how it's literally, there's a streak right here with no pigment. I've done nothing but go in with a wipe that has barely any product on it, take off what I need to take off, go in with a clean brush, and it's still just not, this eye just isn't blending. This eye is fine, it's just this eye, if you see this streak right here where there's no pigment, it's just not working properly and I'm getting upset. So once again, I'm going to take off this outer corner and actually let it fully dry, and we'll be back.